messages that you got from your childhood growing up, I will call those traumatic. When I talk about trauma and addiction, that's kind of the root of where I'm coming from. A lot of us understand trauma as something, an event that causes an intense emotional fear response in a human being that is outside the norm of what a normal experience is for any human being. So a traumatic event would be a flood or a fire. There's natural disasters, right? We have a few of those occurring right now. An earthquake, right? If you're in the midst of an earthquake, this is really traumatic. There's emotional trauma. We understand physical trauma. It's pretty obvious. This is getting hit or beat or slapped or punched or pushed or shoved or pinched. The list goes on and on. There's emotional trauma, I will say again. Emotional trauma gets overlooked. Yet, whenever you speak to and whenever you assess and whenever you talk to in depth and build relationships with someone in recovery, you will find that they have a long history of what they would call emotional trauma. Sometimes it occurs in their home. Sometimes it occurs in the relationships with the people that they meet in their road on their addictive path. Sometimes the trauma occurs during the addiction. So if I didn't have any trauma in my childhood, and I grew up in that perfect, beautiful, unconditionally loving, gracious home that exists somewhere on planet Earth that I have not visited, but it exists in some form or some shape. Even if you got half of that and you survived and got out okay, right? When you became an addict, trauma became part of your makeup in your life. The addiction itself is traumatic. It's a diagnosis.